Last year, the company issued 3 profit warnings in 5 months and wrote down more than £1 billion from the value of contracts. Labour's attacked the government for continuing to hand out contracts to the firm even after it had sounded the alarm bell about its finances. This evening, the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, said Labour will end PFI contracts. That's where private firms are contracted to carry out public sector work.
It's time to put an end to the rip-off privatisation policies that have done serious damage to our public services and fleeced the public of billions of pounds. This is a watershed moment. Across the public sector, the outsource first dogma has wreaked havoc. Often it's the same companies that have gone from service to service, creaming off profits and failing to deliver the quality of service our people deserve.
The Liberal Democrat leader Vince Cable wants a review of the whole practice of farming out services to private companies.
We've got a model at the moment which is when projects go well, the private sector makes substantial profits. When they fail, they offload it onto the government. This is completely unacceptable.
Carillion employs 20,000 people in the UK, and for trade unions, the most immediate concern is job losses. Jerry Swain from Unite says the firm's collapse threatens other companies too.
I think what we're likely to see is a domino effect on companies going into receivership and administration, because people, or companies rather, will have loans secured on the money that's owed to them by Carillion, and their chances of getting that money now seem fairly slim.
Carillion employed hundreds of subcontractors and smaller businesses. Ian McCall from Glasgow was among those who worked as a Carillion subcontractor. His work involved maintenance in bank branches until just 6 months ago.
They were just completely disorganised. So we were basically going to jobs where either the jobs had already been completed by another contractor, or in some cases Carillion's own engineers, or they were sending us to jobs where branches of the banks had already closed down, for example. And in some cases we were having to travel considerable distances to get there. Carillion didn't have any people directly employed in more remote locations, so they would use subcontractors such as ourselves to do places in the north of Scotland and out to the west coast, for example. So we would travel to these locations only to discover that branches of the bank they were sending us to had been closed for, in some cases, 2 years.
Why do you think they were so disorganised? What you're describing sounds pretty basic.
Yeah, lack of IT system, I would suggest. The entire workload appeared to be ran just from spreadsheets. So none of the spreadsheets that they had throughout their teams matched, and different offices were using the same spreadsheets. But let's say because none of them matched, they were sending contractors to the same job. Sometimes 2 and 3 contractors would appear at one job.
And how were they at paying up for the work when it did get done?
We would have to accept payment terms of 120 days. They would allow you the option to draw down the money sooner, but we would have to pay interest up until the 120-day period. But the problem with that was the money was only available for drawdown after they had authorised the invoice. And in some cases it was taking them 18 months to 2 years to authorise the invoice.
When did you stop working for them?
We stopped about 6 months ago. If we had continued to work for them, we wouldn't have survived another 6 months. Because of cash flow, the work they were sending us to, not paying us for jobs. They also changed the terms where we would provide them with a fixed price quotation to do a particular job. And they changed it to say that is no longer a fixed price quote, that's now a high level estimate. So if the cost went over the quote, then tough, we would have to cover the cost. But if we managed to do the job cheaper than the quote, then Carillion would take that profit away from us.
Given your experience, then, are you surprised that the firm's gone into liquidation?
No, my only surprise is that it lasted so long.
Former Carillion subcontractor Ian McCall. 400 people are employed at Carillion's headquarters in Wolverhampton, and the company was building the Metropolitan Midland, a major new hospital in the Black Country.